Yes, this is a propaganda video, if you couldn't tell. What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So a while back I asked a few of you to send in your questions on Instagram, and I didn't specify what types of questions I was expecting, but most of them ended up being vegan. So this is going to be a vegan Q&A. And some of your random questions answered as well. Hey. So the first question is, was it a tough transition to being vegan, and if so, how did you feel leaving meat? So I'll try keeping this short, but it's most likely not going to be. So the short answer is no, it wasn't really a tough transition. I think besides my stubborn nature, once I learned about like the way my diet was affecting, the environment, or the way factory farming is actually done, I decided that wasn't a lifestyle I wanted to keep living. Yeah, I already made the mental switch, and I think I stopped drinking milk like straight away, and I didn't know this at the time, like I think a lot of people, thanks to Cartoon Network being my sole tutor of animal agriculture for the most part, that cows, like other female mammals, need to be pregnant in order to produce milk. So the idea of someone forcing them to get pregnant didn't really sit right with me. So yeah, I decided that I wasn't gonna keep drinking dairy milk, and it just doesn't make sense to be drinking the bodily fluids of another animal that's intended for their young to grow. And for meat, I already reduced eating meat subconsciously. Like, the meat here is really terrible. Whether you're vegan or not, it just tastes weird. I've had other people who aren't vegan say the same thing, and so it wasn't just me. So I'd already reduced that quite a bit up until this point, so it wasn't that difficult to just stop completely. The only reason I didn't go straight away was because there was a lot of misconception at the time about veganism, and just so many myths around vegans and the bad rep that comes with it and everything. So I did my research, watched a lot of documentaries as well, and I just needed to know, okay, can I still go to the gym? Would I still be able to play sports? Would I grow man boobs? Because who doesn't want man boobs from drinking soy? And yeah, so I had to do all that research and just do my own due diligence to know, okay, if I'm going into this, I know I'm not putting my health at risk by doing so. So once I realized, or once I saw that, I could still be healthy and indulge in some of the food that I used to crave back then, like pancakes, waffles, some Nigerian food like jollof rice, puff, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna do it then. There's really nothing that's stopping me per se. And yeah, so I also found out that a lot of things that I didn't think were vegan were actually vegan. And now a lot of people always say, oh, that's vegan? Oh, that's vegan? Is that vegan? And that was me back then, basically. I was getting surprised by the things I was finding out were vegan, like pasta or rice. Who knew? Honestly, I think that's why I've stuck to it, because I was the one who convinced myself. Like, my friends at the time exposed me to it, but I ended up like being interested in it and looking into it in more depth to see, okay, like, this doesn't align with my beliefs in general, and is there an alternative way that's feasible? And then I said, okay, you know what, screw it, just do it. And yeah, like, I figured a lot of things out after I was vegan as well. I just needed to make sure that I wouldn't die going vegan in the first place. And that's also why I stopped trying to convince people to like try going vegan, because I just realized if anyone is gonna do it, they're going to have to come to that decision themselves. I don't mind helping people out if they come to ask me questions, but I'd rather refer them to where they can get the information from rather than tell them, because then it's kind of diluted information as well. My way of conveying it might not be the same way you would read it if you saw it directly from the research paper, for example, or if you saw the video yourself, right? And yeah, like, it's easy for someone to hear, oh yeah, like, cows get stunned in the head or whatever, and you don't really have an image of that, right? But you see the video and you see how cruel it is, then it's going to hit you differently. Okay, that was a massive sidetrack. So to answer the second question, was it tough giving up meat? No, not really. It wasn't tough at all. I was a bit, I guess, nostalgic and sentimental about it. Like, no more suya, no more KFC, no more McDonald's chicken nuggets. So that's why I've made it one of my missions to make sure I can still eat all those things, but without having to use the animal flesh. Yeah, but when again, like I saw the documentaries and I watched all like a few. I didn't really watch a lot of like slaughterhouse videos because I couldn't like deal with seeing you know innocent creatures being killed or treated like that. But I was aware of it and I was just like, yeah, no, there's there's something else that I can do instead or I can use instead. So not use, eat. Okay, question number 2 is also a vegan question, and it is, what's life like as a vegan so far? Have you seen any health benefits? So I would say life right now is normal, like it feels normal, weirdly enough. If I'm talking about milk, I don't even think of saying, oh, plant milk or soy milk or whatever. I just say milk because it's become normalized to me that milk is from plants, even though for the vast majority of people that's not the case. Yeah, sometimes I forget that I don't live in a vegan utopia where meat is made from pea protein, soy, and corn. But earlier on it was weird because I feel like I think every vegan goes through this where you have the phase where you're just exposed to this new sort of viewpoint and you're trying to tell everyone else and you're like, why isn't anyone else seeing things the same way? And you just see the world through a different lens, really. Like, I feel there was a time I had some kind of, not anger, I think it was a mixture of anger, resentment, and sadness towards like the accepted cultural norm of, the animal should be killed and all of that. And yeah, but after a while, you kind of get desensitized or disillusioned to it because reality just keeps kicking you in the butt. Like everyone around you is still eating meat, and you're just like, okay, like this is how life is. And for the most part, you just hope that one day it changes, like slowly. I can't even imagine what people who were vegan back in the 90s are feeling right now. I mean, they must be happy because it's come a long way. But yeah, that's literally the most you can hope for. Or you can decide to do some activism to try and speed up that process. And as for the health benefits, I always heard, I saw a lot of people saying, when they went vegan, they got rid of their hypertension or diabetes or cancer or, penis. And, while all those are very good things to get rid of, I didn't have any of those in the first place. Okay, banter aside, yeah, I didn't have any health problems in the first place, so I didn't really see any like outstanding benefits when I went vegan. My blood pressure was good before, it's good now. The only things I noticed, I don't really like when people ask me, I don't really like saying them, but for the sake of this video, I'll say that I did notice that I got a lot more energy, and a lot of vegans also say that they feel the same thing, but I'm not sure if it was just a placebo effect. So there's a chance that that could be the case because I already had it in my mind that vegans get a lot more energy when they start eating, plant-based food and all of that. And I do notice it a lot more when I'm eating whole foods, plant-based diets. So no junk food, no oils, no sugar, all of that, which is just a healthy diet, right? Also, I did take a blood test before and after going vegan. And before I went vegan for, I think 3 years or so, I noticed that my iron was really low. And after I went vegan, like 2 years after I went vegan, so I noticed that my iron was back in the normal reference range. A random question now. Kobe or LeBron? I'm gonna have to say, and maybe disappoint a lot of people, LeBron. Like, he's just the GOAT. And Kobe, I only started liking him a lot more recently after he passed. because there was a lot of highlights on, you know, his life and his accomplishments and everything. And it is very motivating, like it's a very motivating story. But when I was getting to basketball, he was known as like being selfish, and he was known as a good player, but just didn't like the fact that, you know, oh, Kobe never passes the ball, so I just never got interested in him. Whereas LeBron was just a beast because I was a fan of the Heat back then, of the Heat back then. Okay, question 3. How do you make sure you get your nutrients? How do you make sure you get your nutrients? Well, to be honest, since I went vegan, I became a lot more health conscious. Again, because I didn't want to die, I had to do a lot of research into the food I was going to be eating and the type of meals I'll be having. Because usually, you know, I grew up eating or supplementing my food with just meat, and you have your protein. Just have carbs, meat, veggies, salad. That's it, right? So when I was decided to go vegan, I started looking into different foods, and I basically had a rough idea of their macronutrient profile and maybe some micronutrients as well here and there. And yes, I'll look at like beans, lentils, chickpeas, spinach, brown rice, pasta, bread, everything. Because when you go vegan, you need to be like more aware of, even if, okay, rice has like 2 grams of protein for example, that's still like 2 grams of protein, right? And because we mix a lot of food together, so you have like rice, lentils, spinach, and you could still have beans, for example, and avocados. So it all kind of adds up, and then you can know, okay, even if it's 2 grams of protein from that rice and then some from the beans and the lentils, this is how much you're getting effectively. So yeah, initially I did that for, you know, like some months, and now it's just second nature to me. I just know, okay, if I want to get this, I just have to eat a combination of this, and this. As for other micronutrients like vitamins, so I started taking vitamin B12 initially when I went vegan, because you can't get that on the vegan diet. You can only get vitamin B12 from supplemented foods like dairy milk or your meats and all of that. And yes, meat is supplemented with B12. No animal produces B12 by itself, only bacteria do. Fun fact. So yeah, I initially started supplementing with B12. Then I think last year I decided I'll just be taking multivitamins instead, because I found out I was vitamin D deficient, which I think is genetic or whatever. So yeah, so I started taking multivitamins instead, just to have like a larger coverage. Okay, so the next question is, what's the hardest thing about cooking vegan meals? Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't tell this to a lot of people because I feel like it might discourage them from being or from going vegan or trying out veganism or whatever. But the thing I do struggle with when I make vegan food is trying to make sure that it doesn't taste so good that I finish it in one day. Cause God, it is a joke, but it's actually a problem. But I think the one thing that I would say is difficult about cooking vegan food is when trying to make the meat substitutes or the things that are meant to help substitute omnivorous food, like vegan meats and all of that. You need to use oil for the most part, and I'm not a huge fan of cooking with oil. I've tried a few times to stop, but it's been kind of difficult because so many of those things like require it. So whenever I'm doing like just strictly whole food plant-based, I stay away from it completely, and I can cook whatever I want. But when I start indulging a bit, I'm, you know, trying out those junk food, vegan foods, you end up consuming a lot more oil and all of that. So it really depends. I think if you don't care about that, then by all means indulge to your heart's desire. And also, this is coming from me, so take it with a grain of vegan salt, because I love cooking, like I enjoy cooking a lot, so what might be difficult to you, I might not find it difficult. And that is a good segue to our next random question, which is, do you ever cook naked? I wish I could go back and check who asked me this question. Yes, every single time I'm home alone. Okay, next question. When are you hitting the TikTok world? Never, never. Some friends have tried persuading me to join it and to make videos and whatever, and it's very tempting. It's almost worked, but no. So what? Are the meat replacements better than what you expected when you turned? When you turned? That sounds like I became a vampire or something. Yeah, they are actually, especially in Cyprus, because when I went vegan, there weren't any meat options, period, at all, as far as I can remember anyway. The only meat replacements that I tried were when I visited England and I decided to only eat vegan food. So that was when I had like some vegan breakfast, like fully vegan breakfast, and ordered some vegan takeout as well. And it was very impressive. Like, I was like, when I tasted that, I said to myself, okay, you know what, it's not that bad. If you ever start craving meat, at least these can actually satiate. It's been a long quarantine, guys. You know what I'm trying to say. So I tried out some meat replacements when I flew out to England, and my homegirl Linda McCartney, she has some amazing sausages which I tried. Pause. Some amazing vegan sausages which I tried. And yeah, when I tried those, I was like, you know what? It made it so much easier for me to just decide to like completely stop giving up meat, because I felt like those were good enough even at the time. I wasn't vegan for that long, or I hadn't stopped eating meat for that long, but you know, it was good enough for me, so I was like, screw it, do it. So the next question, do you not miss the texture of meat? I do, definitely. Like, I definitely miss the texture, which is why I still indulge in vegan meat substitutes, because I grew up eating things with that type of texture and flavor. So if I can get all of that without necessarily indulging in the cruelty as well, I'll definitely opt for that. So yeah, I think that's why vegan meat substitutes exist in the first place, because a lot of vegans didn't just grow up or be born vegan. Like, we had a whole childhood and upbringing that was revolved around having this kind of taste and texture and whatever in your mouth. Jesus, I'm saying so many. Anyways, next question. How are you so cool? I definitely made that up. No one asked that. How do you do jollof rice? That's a family secret, and I've been sworn to never divulge that information to anyone on how I make that amazing jollof rice for less than $5, which is why I'm going to plug my, no. It's as cliche as it sounds, it's all just practice. Like, I used to be so shit at it like 6 years ago, always came out mushy, and after failing so many times and getting advice from like my Nigerian relatives, they eventually, I eventually got decent at making it, I guess. And I'm gonna make a video on how to make jollof rice and other Nigerian vegan food. So subscribe and turn the post notifications on so you can see when those videos come out. That was nice. That was natural. Okay, so what's your favorite milk alternative? Soy milk, easily. Which guy doesn't want man boobs? I tried a bunch of different plant-based milk before I went vegan completely, so I started experimenting with a few, and soy milk, oat milk, and coconut milk were the ones that made it past the, you know, initial selection stage. Almond milk, nah. I see so many people like it, and I'm just like, what? It tastes so bad. I only use it for baking or making batter of some kind. And hemp milk, mm-mm, nah, no, no, no. But yeah, initially I didn't like oat milk actually. So it was after I had fully went vegan that I tried it again, and I was like, what the hell, this tastes so different from when I tried it the first time, and I loved it. Like I could just drink it like it's water, because it kind of is, but it's really nice. So yeah, for anyone who is interested in like switching to a plant-based milk, which I would highly recommend, I would say that you should just try out with something like soy milk, almond milk, coconut milk, oat milk, the popular ones, and try cutting out dairy for a while, because I have some friends who said that their taste buds actually, or their taste changed after just like 2 weeks of not drinking dairy milk, and when they tried drinking it again, they found it so disgusting. So there's some, what's it called, like, I don't know, biological or scientific, no scientific, there's some biological chemical effect that the milk has on your taste buds, which if you stay away from it for a while, it clears and you can taste other things better. It's basically trying to eliminate the competition, okay? It's the agricultural industry. That's that propaganda I was talking about. What's the worst thing about being vegan? So you know how they say ignorance is bliss and knowledge is suffering? Is that saying? I don't know. But yeah, it's basically that, like, you kind of feel like you have this, you're seeing the world differently and everyone else is just going about their day normally. I think that's probably the, I'll say the worst part, but besides that, there isn't really anything bad about being vegan. Nothing. Like, I can't think of anything. The only inconvenient thing I would say is having to, like, if you're going for a party or something with friends or going out to eat, you have to eat before you leave, because chances that the place is gonna have something that you'll be able to eat besides chips and raw tomatoes and grass is very high. Low, very low. Yeah, the chances of them having anything besides all those things are very low. So yeah, that's just it. Just eat before you go. And I think that's changing though, because a lot of places do have decent vegan options. Feels fucking amazing. I'm really trying not to swear, but man, would you rather stop being vegan or give up jollof? That's an evil question to ask, and you should feel bad. Honestly, how can you, man, give up jollof, as much as it breaks my heart. Okay, so next question is, when are you gonna come back to the dark side? If you mean the dark side being eating meat, never. If you mean literally anything else in life, I've never left. I've always been there. Nigerian or Ghanaian jollof? Nigerian cooked jollof. Do you even have to ask? Nigerian jollof. There is no question. We make the best jollof rice ever in every African country, and we invented jollof rice. Honestly, I actually don't know the difference between Nigerian and Ghanaian jollof. I really don't. I think one is like, it's the rice that they use. Fam. The different ways I've made jollof rice since I was 16, one of it was probably Ghanaian jollof rice, and I didn't even realize. I don't even know how I make it now. As long as it tastes good, man, and it's jollof rice, I don't care where it's from, honestly. Stop the divide. I think I'll just do one more question, because this is going on for a while. Okay, so the last question is, what are some good places to order from in Nicosia? I'll say Wagamama. I think they have like a decent vegan range. They have a whole vegan menu. I don't really know anywhere else that's good to order from, because honestly I don't order out that much. I prefer to just cook my own food, because, and I say this a lot, my cooking is better. I always just get disappointed when I order food and waste money. It's so painful, so heartbreaking. But whenever I cook, I'm 95% sure that I'm going to like it. Maybe I'm biased. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. That was it for this Q&A video, and thank you to everyone who asked questions on my Instagram page. If you don't follow it, make sure to go follow it and, you know, like interact with me on there or whatever. If you have any questions that you'd personally like to ask me about veganism, then just message me and I'm more than willing to help. And yeah, again, like, thank you to everyone who asked questions. Literally, I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.